welcome to Blog Tornado. How are you? And today we're going to discuss about reptilian race and their function in our society. What is their purpose? According to David Icke, a conspiracy theorist you probably heard of, and he talks about how reptilians are associated with Illuminati and how they control our human race, and they're part of the high chain society, the upper level of society. Some examples that come up are, Mark Zuckerberg, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce, and so forth. But again, all of this, there's a lot of documentaries, a lot of talk about reptilians. You can find a lot about that on the internet, but a lot of it is verbal most of the time, without any proven evidence that shapeshifters of such actually exist. So we don't see much of that at all. And that's the reason why there is 90% of UFOs out there and only 10% reptilian stuff, because for one thing, if anybody wants to fake it, it's hard to do because it requires some knowledge of classical animation in order to replicate walk cycle if you're into 3D animation. And therefore, a lot of people who try to fake it, they don't bother doing it, because anything that has 2 legs or 4 legs and needs to be animated, it's very difficult to do. Again, you need some education as far as classical animation goes. Recreating a UFO is a lot easier because you simply keyframe the CGI of a UFO and then simply move it forward and make another keyframe, and that's all it takes to recreate a UFO, fake UFO video. So that's one thing. And also, would there be supposedly on American dollar bill, as we see Illuminati symbol, we see the old seeing eye. Now, if Illuminati are run by reptilians, why isn't there a lizard eye instead of a human eye? Might look weird, I know, but another thing, there are some footage of supposedly reptilian creatures, such as one that shows a reptilian running by a camera, and it looks like a creature with a tail and gray. But what I wonder is, if reptilians are part of the upper level society, what are they doing in the sewers? That's another thing that doesn't line up properly. And again, supposedly they do live in the ground, and they're at war with Grace, alien Grace, because of similar intelligence they possess. And the question is, who is trying to protect us? Is the aliens or is it the reptilians? Supposedly reptilians are the ones that wants to enslave us. So does that mean that aliens are trying to protect us, or we're victims of both of those beings? So again, very little as far as that goes to get into this subject without any solid evidence. Again, it's a lot of verbal evidence of some sort out there that is documentaries upon documentaries, but then again, you don't see anything you see in a Spider-Man movie when the scientist turns into a lizard. And that's the problem as far as reptilians go. And if you do see footage, you're most likely going to see some cheap fake lizard imitations, like you'll see news reports, or you're going to see celebrities changing their eye pupils, or they're gonna try to distort their facial features and call it reptilians. They're changing into reptilians and so forth. So that's all the evidence we really have as far as reptilian race goes. So I'm not sure why is there such a big hype around this situation. Although I think if there is something that a lot of people talk about, perhaps some kind of truth or something drives it, right? And that's the reason. And also the reason I am interested in this, because the actual Illuminati symbol on one American dollar bill, which is a very unusual symbol to say the least. I explained to you before what it means. To me, it's more like Illuminati representing orbs. As you know, Illuminati means illuminating something, and orbs illuminate as well. And also that the upper part of the pyramid, as you can see it for yourself, is actually hovering in the air, which again, orbs pretty much do the same thing. They're capable of hovering in the air. And you also see the eye, which behind the eye, there's got to be intelligence, a brain. So when it comes to orbs, my take on orbs is that they're watching us throughout history. And that's what I find it kind of interesting, because to me, they're like some kind of all-seeing eyes in the sky. Are we part of some experiment that we don't know about? And it does look highly unusual to see those lights hovering up in the air in the sky. It's similar to something like pyramids. It's just something very unusual, and a lot of people are questioning what are orbs, what is going on. It turns our reality pretty much upside down. The saying everything you know is wrong, in this case, kind of almost sounds true. And yeah, I am personally, I don't know what they are, but I've seen it myself. I'm a witness of orbs. If you want to read more about it, in blogtornado.com, on my website, and in a UFO section, you'll find an article about orbs and UFO phenomena. And I talk about my experience with orbs. And again, I'm going to leave a link below so you can see for yourself the actual footage of orbs from Western Massachusetts, and all the similarities to what I've seen. You can compare the story if you'd like, but are pretty much shown in that video from YouTube from Western Massachusetts. And not just that, but the reason I chose that particular footage is because there is a lot of there seems to be a message along with it, which it's up to you to decode if you can. But it just shows a big orb, a mother orb, where all the orbs come from, returning back to the orb below, which to me represents Earth. So are the orbs the actual creators that created us, some sort of aliens? Or is it the actual asteroid that might hit the Earth one day? And but there is definitely a message in there, and to me it looks pretty authentic, because I don't know this person, they don't know me, but what I've seen is pretty much what's in that footage. So yeah, check the link below, but for now stay with me so we can discuss this reptilian situation further. Again, we just know that, from what I know from David Icke, that basically they're controlling our society. And then again, that Illuminati, tried to keep the population at certain numbers and so forth. And, at some aspects I can understand there has to be some sort of control, if anything, because usually when there is none, things are most likely going to break down and just cause more problems. So that could be one purpose of reptilians, and I can see that to be something rather positive rather than negative. And this whole thing again ties into this Illuminati symbol. Again, it's very strange for me, and I'm sure it's very strange to you that such symbol actually exists on a government currency like that, especially American currency. And you see those symbols of Illuminati pretty much everywhere around the world, even where I saw the orbs, the 3 orbs. And some of the characteristics or orbs are like they're gonna change lights from white to orange and green, not green, sorry, blue or any other color, maybe red, but not so much as orange. White to orange is a very common color. And they like to fly in the straight formations. They like to multiply, orbs coming from the middle orb and from the first orb and so forth. And so those are some characteristics. And what's really interesting about this, that not too far from there, there is a shrine with a cross and a Jesus on the cross and candles. And on top there is the actual Illuminati symbol, which to me was very surprising to see that through on Google Maps. That's how I saw it, which is not too far, maybe 6-7 kilometers or less from where I saw the orbs. And as you know, orbs, the symbol, there is 3 corners, of course, because it's a pyramid, but you see some kind of light illuminating from every side of that pyramid, which is 3 sides. And I saw 3 orbs. Are they watching us? Is the all-seeing eye referring to that? The e pluribus unum, above all none, the eye of providence, what is the American on American dollar bill, the symbol trying to say, the all-seeing eye? Is it watching us? Is something watching us? And the only thing that I can relate it to again is the actual orbs. And orbs go way throughout our history, and we don't know how deep into a government this connection might be. And that's the reason why perhaps I do like David Icke's story, because he talks about that very thing. Something controlling our government, and there's government within the government, And also Bob Lazar talks about how some authorities that were after him were able to erase everything from the records and about him, and they're able to do that. Nobody has the control over that, not even the government itself. So who are those people is the question. So yeah, I do believe there is something going on here, and that we don't know about, us just going about everyday life, but there is some mystery to this whole thing, especially because of the orbs, and the Illuminati symbol on one American dollar bill. And this whole thing is very, very mysterious to me, and I'm sure it's mysterious to you. And if you have a opinion on this or something that you would like to share or add to this crazy situation, please do so. Please comment below, and we'll see what's your opinion on that, what you're thinking. But I'm thinking that is certainly has something to do with Illuminati symbol and what does it mean. And I feel like the orbs phenomena is somehow tied to this whole Illuminati situation. So that's why I think David Icke theory is rather very interesting to me. That's the only thing that I can relate, block tornado, to this Illuminati symbol. That's pretty much all that I would like to say. Again, very little evidence, though. That's the only problem with the reptilian situation. And again, any kind of UFO stories have little evidence to back it up. And that's why it's important to have channels such as my own that talk about things like that, mysterious things that are capable connecting to other documentaries out there, pieces of information, and then draw a bigger picture out of that. And that's what this channel is all about. So it's definitely not about entertainment or laughing around. I'm trying to keep it as serious as possible and get to the bottom, to the truth. And if you follow my videos about Betty and Barney Hill or Bob Lazar, you'll understand that how far I got, and what connects all those stories together, that they actually might not be related at all, but they have something in common that makes them related in some ways. And the question is, do those people know each other or they don't? If they don't know each other, then for instance, such planet as Zeta Reticuli that's been mentioned in Bob Lazar and Barney and Betty Hill's story, and Ivan channel 0135, then there's some truth to this, and that's pretty much what I try to do, is to piece those puzzles together, get those points together, similar to what David Icke does, and try to get some truth out of this whole existence of whatnot, UFOs, aliens, reptilians. And again, see the American dollar bill, or check it out on the internet, the Illuminati symbol, and see for yourself how it could connect to orbs. And I think it really represents the orbs. Again, I believe that there's some higher power here behind the government, our society, and it's real and it does exist. And again, orbs are the proof. Okay, if you think that's what I just said, it's unusual, then I've seen such phenomena, and believe me, that is unusual. And I think it has some ties to the government because of the Illuminati symbol. Would just like to thank you if you made it all the way up until here. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. I see that you're following the situation, and if you do, then I suggest you comment so you can get involved in this UFO scene or reptilian scene, or any kind of things that might be interesting to you as far as again UFO goes. And I post videos every day or every second day, and if you like to, you can subscribe here at the bottom right or give it a thumbs up. It would be great. And or hit that notification button and you'll get my videos as soon as they come out. Okay, so yeah, please don't forget to comment, and that would be great to see what your opinions are on orbs and reptilians and so forth. Again, we're just trying to hunt for the truth, nothing more. It's not about entertainment here. So yeah, again, thanks a lot if you stayed all the way up until here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Peace.